I wanted to show a model as it's finished being built and the modifications that I made to it as I get ready to get it in the air for not the first time but the second time, so it's been tuned a little bit. First time I put it up, it was very, very tail heavy, and I think that was largely my fault. I had built this intending to make it a hand launcher, and so had left the landing gear off, which changed the center of gravity pretty significantly, and so I needed to add some weight to the nose to balance it out. First time I put it up, it was very tail heavy, and it was porpoising badly, and so I was able to get it back onto the ground in one piece and recognize what I had done. But some of the things that I changed or modifications that I made, instead of permanently affixing the windshield, because I wanted to get in repeatedly, attached it with a piece of Velcro here at the bottom, so I can peel this back. Generally speaking, it doesn't stick. It's very cold today, and so what's happened is it's just gotten a little stiff. But I will be able to peel that back and fold it forward again so that I can get into modify the electronics. I also added a FPV camera to it. So this is just a little camera and transmitter that I got off of Banggood, and I will put these in the links as well. The cat is exceedingly interested in what I've got going on up here today, as you can see. And I mounted the transmitter thusly in the back. I did add a heat sink because it gets a little warm. The airflow should be okay in here, but I still... Can you give me a little love later, kitty? It should still be helpful to have the heat sink on. I made some modifications, not to the decals, but to the wingtips. I like to color code, in traditional navigation, my wingtips. I did that both top, and I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. We'll take a look at the bottom as well. I did that to the bottom wingtips as well. And then we can take a look at the electronics inside. I have added a battery voltage return, so I will get telemetry on the voltage of the battery once it's in the air. I am using a separate power supply for these LED lights that I have run along the wingtips and for the video system, because I found when I tried to power either one of those through the receiver, I would low volt and have problems with the receiver browning out. And for those of you who are maybe a little new to RC flying, you really do not want your receiver to brown out. That is ultimately terrible. My air compressor isn't going to... Air compressor is not going to cooperate with me either. It's just going to be a noise generator today. Sorry about that. Let's take a look. Let me go ahead. I'm going to turn the plane back over again. We will set it up, and I will go ahead and drop a battery in both systems so you can kind of see how that came out. It's back down there. Let me get... He's drone is going to be in my battery zone here. I'm going to want to move him out of the way, so we'll get him over there. And then I'm going to use this battery for my system. I'm going to use this battery to power the plane. So I'm going to take a second and do that, and then we will get another look. I'm going to pull the windshield so that we can actually see. Inside is fairly messy right now. I have not really looked hard at cable management just yet, but I will be going in there with some tiny zip ties and neatening up the interior of the plane at some point. But let me go ahead and get it hooked up and we'll take a look at it. All right, so here is the plane on and set. All right, so as you can see, I've got LEDs under the wings. The camera is set, and if you take a look in the back here, you should be able to see that I've got power going to the transmitter, and that's all working fine. I'm going to grab the little station that I use, and we will flip it on real quick and confirm that we've got a good signal coming through, and there's a good signal coming through. We can even take this around to the front and make sure we are, there we are, on the signal, on the signal. So there it is, and there it is, set up for FPVing purposes and for, you know, even a little dusk or nighttime flying if you wanted to. This was a very inexpensive model out of the box. I will say that the instructions really did leave something to be desired unless you've had a little bit of experience. I mean, it was typical Chinese instructions. They translations were, you know, left a little bit to be desired. There were a couple of illustrations that were less than perfectly clear. But, you know, if you've had experience building planes, and, you know, you can see I've had a little bit of experience building a few planes. It's manageable. You can figure out what's going on, and very much worth the price. I'll add in some video of flights, you know, actual FPV video in on the channel a little later, but I just wanted to give this short walkthrough and look at the model as it built out, not just the baseline out of the package. All right, thanks for watching.